I'm standing in a dark hallway, gripping the cold metal of a barrel that I shouldn't be holding. The air around me feels wrong, thick, vibrating, like the whole house was breathing. Behind me, I can hear him searching, his footsteps pounding the floorboards, his voice sharp, cracking at the edges.
Where are they? Where did you put them?
But it isn't his voice that chills me. It's the other one. The whisper right behind my ear. The one only I can hear. A little girl's voice.
Don't let him find them.
And then the vision hits me again. Her coffin, the grieving family, the way sorrow clings to this house like a shadow that won't leave. A choice so dark, it echoes forward instead of backward. A tragedy trying to repeat itself. And somehow, I'm the only thing standing in its way. Let me start from the beginning. I've always been sensitive to emotions. Not just empathetic or not just good with people. I mean, I absorb them. Someone's panic becomes pressure in my lungs. Someone's rage feels like static under my skin. And someone's grief, that one hits me like a tidal wave. Most of the time I can manage it, shield myself, redirect it, keep my head above water. But every now and then, something slips through that isn't just a feeling. Something that feels borrowed, foreign, sent. It was a Tuesday in October when it happened. The kind of brittle autumn afternoon where even the sunlight looks like it wants to disappear. I was on my way to see a friend, Sarah. Her daughter had just passed away 3 days earlier. She was only 7. The second I pulled up, it hit me so hard I had to grip the steering wheel. Pressure in my chest, a ringing in my ears. A cold, humming dread. This wasn't just grief. It felt like a soul screaming with its last breath. I stayed in the car for 5 minutes just trying to ground myself. You can do this. Just be there for her. Inside, the house felt heavy. Not just emotionally, physically. Like the air itself was weighed down. The smell of lilies and casserole clung to everything. People murmured, cried softly, moved like shadows. Then Sarah hugs me. I can feel her exhaustion sinking into my bones like wet sand. But underneath all the sorrow, beneath everyone's heartbreak, there was something else. Something sharp. Something that didn't belong to the living. That's when I saw Michael, Emma's dad. He stood stiffly near the fireplace, accepting condolences with mechanical politeness. The man looked hollowed out, like grief was eating him from the inside. I stepped towards him. Michael, I am so sorry. Then it hits me mid-sentence. Not a feeling, not an emotion, a presence. It crashed straight through me, violent, urgent, like a warning shoved straight into my nerves. Michael, standing in the hallway, a rifle in his hands. Not anger on his face, but this vacant softness. And behind him, something dark, tall, and shapeless, whispering into his ear. Not in words, in intent. A pull, a coaxing, a promise. The air turned icy. I stumbled back. Someone asked, "Are you okay?" Michael didn't even notice. And the shadow that was behind him, it vanished the second he looked up. I backed away into a corner, trying to convince myself it was stress, overload, grief. But I've lived with this gift my entire life. And what I saw wasn't imagination. It was trajectory, a future event, something that wanted to happen. I avoided Michael the rest of the evening, but eventually I had to pass him again in the hallway. And the second I stepped into his orbit, the vision returned, stronger, clearer. The shadow behind him larger this time, hunched, almost touching the ceiling. A cold voice whispers inside my skull, not his, not mine.
He's ready.
My stomach turned. This was not grief overtaking him. Something was feeding on it and pushing him. I found Sarah in the garage organizing flowers people had brought. "Hey, can I talk to you for a second?" She looked so exhausted. "Of course." I chose my words carefully. "I know this is a strange question to ask right now, but does Michael still have those hunting rifles?" Her face went pale. "Why are you asking me that?" "I'm just worried about him, Sarah. I'm worried about all of you. I just think that it would be better if they were somewhere else, just as a precaution, given everything you guys are going through right now." For a long moment, she just stared at me. Then something shifted in her expression. Maybe she'd seen something in Michael's face too, I don't know. Maybe she'd felt the darkness hovering around him. "Yeah, they're still in the hall closet." "Could we move them? Somewhere he wouldn't think to look?" She nodded slowly. "Yeah, I have the keys to my sister's garage." We moved quickly and quietly. While everyone was distracted in the living room, we grabbed both rifles from the closet, wrapped them in a blanket, and loaded them into Sarah's car. She said she'd drive them to her sister's later. As we finished, I felt a small release in my chest, like pressure finally letting go. But then Sarah grabbed my arm and said, "Why did you really ask me to do this?" I met her eyes and just said, "I think you know." She didn't ask me to explain any further. I got home around 8 p.m. that night. At around 11, Sarah texts me. "He's looking for them." Then, "He's tearing the house apart. He's so angry. I told him I moved them." Then, "He just broke down. He's sobbing. First time since Emma passed. I think you were right. Something was wrong tonight." I didn't reply, because what I felt in their house that night, it followed me home. I could feel it in the corner of my room, watching, waiting, seething, denied. It's been months since that day passed. Michael got help, real help, therapy, medication, support. The part that Sarah will never understand, though, is that he was being guided, like something had been nudging him, whispering terrible comfort into his thoughts. When the rifle vanished, the voice vanished too. He thought it was stress, but I know better. Sometimes I still feel it at night, like something old and hungry has drifted just outside my perception, searching for another tear in someone's heart to crawl into. And it makes me wonder, how many times have I passed someone carrying the same shadow? How many visions have I dismissed of someone needing someone else to feel what they were hiding? Because here's the thing about being an empath. You don't just feel what other people are feeling. Sometimes you see the shadow that's following them. And once you know that, you can never stop looking.